Hi, my name is Hannah Teeples, and I'm wanting to talk about one of the most important and effective communicators. Do you know what it is? Because I personally believe that empathy is the real reason we can communicate effectively and competently. So I have followed this golden rule for years and years, and I think I want to understand the importance of viewing the other person's perspective. So, as stated on page 25, empathy involves feeling and experiencing another person's situation almost as they do. And this is a valuable tool in communication. In fact, without empathy, I truly don't think we can communicate with anybody. So, if you try to stop and think about it, what makes a good communicator? So, I would have to say that listening intently, understanding and paying attention to body language, and truly trying to understand where the other person is coming from, what they're trying to say, what they mean, why they're saying it. How would you do this without empathy? So, in the book, it mentions that empathy is the most important aspect of communication. Competency, being able to read the situation. That is being able to just read the signs of communication, in other words. So, being aware is a major driver in being an empathetic person. Being a good listener and paying attention are the main keys. And I try to think of this as you spend a day in another person's shoes, that's when you can truly understand. So with this quote, I have lived by it for years. It is the fact that you can understand where the other person is coming from. This will create an emotional trust. And I think that is the key to any good relationship. Emotional trust and empathy go hand in hand. It is simply just being thoughtful and kind. So kindness, it really goes a long way, especially in a world today with such hate and crime and egocentrism. There really is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that is simply learning empathetic skills. Just being able to listen and pay attention and understand where they're coming from. Try to step in the other person's shoe, figuratively. So, when everyone expresses themselves so differently in times of pain, trouble, and happiness, everyone simply loves just being heard. They want to tell you something. They want to give you the trust to listen, and they want to know that you will understand them. So when your friend is telling you a story about something that's really boring or really something that really terrible happened to them, stop and try to empathize with them. Don't try to respond. Don't try to understand what their point of view is. So I just have one example. In my teen years, I worked on this trail crew in Oregon that maintained hiking trails and equestrian trails, and we had a backpack with about 30 pounds of gear, about 5 to 8 miles for 5 weeks in the Steens Mountain Gorge, and it's about central eastern Oregon. And one of my crew members, she was really struggling with asthma, shin splints, blisters on her toes, and the weight was just too much. She had strap blisters from her backpack, and she was just falling behind, really, really struggling. And so I just offered simply to hold some of the stuff that was in her hands because I really noticed she needed help, and nobody else was helping her. And so I saw that, and I knew that I needed to help her because almost everybody else had their own weight to carry. She was really helpless, and I felt that pain. It was very nice, but later I was thanked for being so empathetic, just being the nicest person she'd ever met, and it was a really great feeling. And so I hold that memory close because it motivates me to be better, just to be the kindness in this nasty world. It's really just the little things that help others, and being empathetic is simply just the beginning. And there's so many ways to be kind, and empathy is the foundation, but you can't be a kind person without it, in my opinion. And so the next time that you're at the grocery store and you see this cute little old lady with a creaky hip, just try to help her grab something from the shelf, or help the poor kid with his homework, because we all know that this math is just the worst. It's just the small things in life that help spark the love, and I think kindness and empathy is just the beginning. And so you can follow this rule forever and ever. It's the golden rule. We've heard it a million times. Treat others how you would want to be treated. It's merely an act of civil society. And I think that if you try to work on these every single day, I think it will be a domino effect, and I think more people will catch on, and I think that is the most important thing you can do. Thank you.